What's in my pocket? I'll start with this article. Could iPhone 6 be iPhone math? Apple rumored to add to iPhone 5s launch with a 4.8-inch device too. I don't know if I believe this rumor with an iPhone math. Really silly name. Apple would never release a phone with that name, I'm sure of that. But if this rumor is true, Apple will launch an iPhone with a 4.8-inch display. And that's really cool because that is the same size as this Samsung Galaxy S3, 4.8 inch. So I think that's a great size, perfect to hold in one hand and all that. But the name is not true, I'm sure of that. Maybe that is a code name from Apple though, because how will Apple do with all the apps and the resolutions? Will we have a 2x bottom again, as we had when the first iPad was released? I mean, how should the app scale to a bigger screen with a different resolution? Or will Apple keep the resolution the iPhone 5 has on the bigger screen? Then we don't have a Retina display anymore, so I don't think that's what Apple will do if they release a 4.8-inch phone. So we will probably have a bigger screen with a higher resolution. But how will they solve the apps then? They will not scale properly. So maybe that is why they have a code name math, because they have solved it with some kind of equation, math, or somehow to be able to use the iPhone 5, iOS 6 apps on the iPhone math. Who knows? So maybe that is why they have a code name math, because to use the apps on a bigger screen they need to do an equation somehow. Could be, I don't know. One thing though is that an iPhone with 4.8-inch screen will be awesome. It's almost like I would like to buy that one, if that's true. Another rumor says that Apple will release a cheaper iPhone 2. I don't know if that's true either, because Apple don't do cheap. They do quality. So why should they need a cheap iPhone? And they have the iPhone 4S, iPhone 4 for that. If you want a cheaper iPhone, buy an iPhone 4S instead of the iPhone 5. So I don't think Apple will release a cheaper iPhone actually. I don't think that. But this bigger iPhone sounds cool anyway. But I don't think Apple will do that either. Announcing the Firefox OS developer preview phone. Mozilla has a new mobile operating system called Firefox, the Firefox OS, and they have now announced two new developer phones for Firefox OS. They look like this, and these phones are more for low power, low cost hardware for first time smartphone buyers in emerging markets. So it's no high-end phones, and it looks like the Firefox OS will not be for high-end phones, at least not in the beginning. For example, the specs for the Kion model, as you can see, very low specs. Qualcomm Snapdragon 1 GHz CPU, 3.5-inch screen, 3 megapixel camera only, 4 GB of internal storage, very low, 512 megabyte RAM memory, very low, micro SD slot, that's good. So the Kion model is definitely not a high-end phone. Here is the Peak model, a bit better. As you can see, a Snapdragon S4 Qualcomm CPU, that's much better. 4.3-inch screen, also quite good. 8 megapixel camera, that's nice. 2 megapixel front facing camera, still only 4 GB internal memory, very bad. 512 RAM memory, and that also really low. And micro SD slot, that's nice. So my personal opinion about the Firefox OS is that it's interesting, and You can use HTML5 apps on it, and the developers can do apps very easy. You can, for example, do an app very fast from your own web page, for example, and release that as an app for Firefox OS. That's really nice. But as I said, I think this is for first-time smartphone buyers, and in countries where you don't have high-end phones and can't afford high-end phones and so. I think Mozilla has a long way to go before Firefox OS will be a consumer product that can compete with Android and iOS. A long way. Samsung Galaxy S4 press shots leaked on Picasa. So finally we have some real photos of the coming flagship phone, Samsung Galaxy S4. I think it looks really nice. As you can see here in this photo, it's a bit squared. I like that square form factor, and the bezel is much thinner than on the S3. It still has a home button and probably a back and menu button too. As you can see in this photo also, they have put in a bigger screen. So a 4.99 inch screen, as the rumor says, is probably true. And I have done so many other videos about this Galaxy S4, so I don't bother with the specs anymore. It's just rumored specs anyways, but as you can see in this photo, the bigger screen, 4.99 inch screen, is probably true. I don't think we will see this phone on Mobile World Congress, but probably in May or something, April maybe. So we have to wait until we have the real specs for it. But the photo looks great. Surface Windows 8 Pro overview. As I mentioned yesterday, Microsoft has finally unveiled the Surface Windows 8 Pro device. And as I said yesterday, it has a starting price of $899 for the 64GB version and $999 for the 128GB version. It runs on Windows 8, but it can run Windows 7 desktop applications. That's really nice. It has either 64GB or 128GB of storage, as I said. 10.6 inch display, Full HD. 1920 by 1080, that's also nice. 16.9 aspect ratio, and you have a pen input, and a pen is included. 3rd gen Intel Core i5 processor with Intel HD graphics 4000, that's nice. And 4GB of RAM memory, that's nice too. You have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.0, 2 cameras built in, 720p live cams, microphone, stereo speakers, full-size USB 3.0, that's nice. Micro SDXC card slot, display port, kind of few apps included though. So that is the specs of the Surface Windows 8 Pro. They are kind of nice, I admit that. But as I said in that video I have already done about the Surface Pro, where I get so many hate comments and angry people commenting about why I said this will flop, fail before it's even released. But I still think that the price is too high. I do that because if you should buy the cover and all that, the price is higher than on a MacBook Air. And yes, this could be a tablet if you disconnect the keyboard. A MacBook Air can't be a tablet, I know that. And you don't have a touch screen, you don't have an S Pen on a MacBook Air. But to me, personally, I think a MacBook Air is more useful. I say that for me personally, so I don't say it's better for everyone. We will see if the Surface Pro will be a success or not. I won't buy it, but if you buy it, please tell me in the comments what you think about it. It will be interesting to hear. So that was a new episode in my What's in My Pocket show, WIMP. I hope you liked it. Please give it a thumbs up. I need those thumbs. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need more subscribers. Do that. Bye.